This is a Saitek ProFlight radio panel. There was a lot of excitement when these came out. For the first time in an affordable package, you could get something to control your radios from FSX in a realistic manner, and not only that, you could control the radios without recourse to clicking in the virtual cockpit or using keystrokes, but also you get the radios displayed for an altogether much more realistic experience. Now the problem is these don't actually work very well. These, in particular these knobs here, are very imprecise. These are for tuning the radios. They're actually rotary encoder controls. They're dual concentric rotaries, and they have a nice clicky feel when you rotate them. You might be able to hear that. And the way they're supposed to work is one click is supposed to move the frequency one digit up or down. What you're going to find is sometimes one click of the knob causes the frequency to change up or down by one digit, sometimes by 2 digits at once, and sometimes no digits at all. So the result is a lot of faffing about trying to dial in the frequency that you want. And they're not, they're supposed to be much more precise than that. The cheap radio in my car, for example, has got a rotary encoder control, and that works perfectly. And it's worth bearing in mind that's actually a radio as well. So a lot of people who've bought these have been very disappointed. Now, as far as I know, Saitek has never acknowledged a problem with this radio panel. But if you spend 2 minutes Googling, you're going to find that pretty much everybody who's bought one of these experiences that problem. Saitek used to have a forum for supporting the ProFlight equipment. It doesn't have one anymore. But my experience in that forum was that Saitek's approach to technical support in general was to simply say, you must have a faulty unit, send it back and we'll replace it. But there's no doubt in my mind that Saitek knows there's a design problem with this radio panel, and the design problem is very likely that it uses cheap components. There is a semi-fix you can do for this. Instead of using the Saitek ProFlight drivers, you can use a thing called SPAD. SPAD is a third-party freeware driver package for not just the radio panel but for the other Saitek panels as well. SPAD stands for Saitek Panels Advanced Driver, and it kind of makes the panel more usable, but it can't work magic. Really all it seems to do is it divides the stream of pulses coming in from these rotary encoder controls by 2, and so effectively that slows things down, and in practice you can dial in the frequencies a little bit more precisely than you can with the Saitek drivers, but it's not really a fix. But now there's another solution. There's an outfit in Las Vegas, Nevada called Motive Mods, and they've produced an upgrade for the Saitek panel. It's a hardware upgrade, and they've been generous enough to send me one to play with. Here it is. Now what you might notice if you've got an eagle eye is the rotary encoder knobs look different. In fact, this upgrade basically removes the 2 rotary encoders and the board they're mounted on and replaces them with a custom board using proper quality encoders. That's all it does, and you can see the result is, it doesn't look like this panel's been modified. If you don't know what the original looks like, these look perfectly in keeping with the design of the panel, and they should sort out the problem once and for all. So does it work? Well, let's find out. So first thing we need to do is get the ATIS. We're going to do that on COM2. We used an active Sky, so we're going to use 1 to 2.0, gives us the actual weather. COM2 on the monitor.
Uniform Lima Airport information Delta 1653 Zulu weather wind calm visibility 10 sky clear temperature 11 dew point 8 altimeter 2998 advise on initial contact you have information Delta Kilo Foxtrot Uniform
okay,
Lima
29 and 9 are 8. COM1 we've got ground set 119.1 is the tower frequency. Whoops, I've just messed that up. 119.1. We're going to set up on nav1. We're going to fly to the El Toro VOR. So we're going to set that up 117.2. It's already set, but I'll just give that a bit of interference so you can see me setting it. 117.2. Put that on active. So we're going to fly directly to that VOR after takeoff, and then to the coast, and then down the coast to Palomar. We're going to climb to 5,000 feet for airspace. Fullerton ground, de Havilland 404 Alpha Alpha.
De Havilland 404 Alpha Alpha, Fullerton ground, go ahead.
De Havilland 404 Alpha Alpha, parked on the south side with Delta, ready to taxi for an eastbound departure.
De Havilland 404 Alpha Alpha, runway 24, taxi via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha, de Havilland 404 Alpha Alpha.
De Havilland 4 Alpha Alpha, say type De Havilland.
4 Alpha Alpha, it's de Havilland Twin Otter 300.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, 119.1.
De Havilland 404 Alpha Alpha, runway 24, clear for takeoff, make your right downwind departure, and just for future reference, state your initial state your full call sign on initial contact with each controller. American 320 Heavy, contact SoCal departure. SoCal departure 320 Heavy.
So we're plenty high enough now, we can go for that VOR. I'm going to centre up the OBS.
Roger, Americans, I think they're parking in the C10 and C9. C10, so you need to be able to sound.
And then we can go nav.
1.75.
Going to turn us towards the VOR. We've got a DME, 13.2 miles to run.
Contact ground on 1.8.
We've got FSX ATC going as well, right?
Los Angeles ground, runway 25 right,
Fine
taxi
mistake.
via Charlie 1 Bravo.
I want to see if I can get rid of that. Sound.
Okay, so I
Turn off voice.
American 821, that is correct. So whenever you're given the readback for taxi instruction.
24.1.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, COM 1, 124.1.
Great Foxtrot X-ray, turn left direct to Seal Beach, view 718 Alpha. Number 404 Alpha, Alpha SoCal approach, join altimeter 29098, squawk 4501, maintain VFR.
Squawk 4501, maintaining VFR, de Havilland 404 Alpha Alpha.
Number 404 Alpha, Alpha radar contact about 7 miles east of the Seal Beach VOR, say altitude and request.
November 404 Alpha Alpha, we're level at 5,000 feet and request flight following to Palomar, down the coast, please.
404 Alpha, Alpha, resume on navigation and maintain VFR.
404 Alpha Alpha will come. Maybe he doesn't
4
want
Alpha, Alpha, contact SoCal approach 128.1.
128.1 for Alpha Alpha. SoCal approach, November 404 Alpha Alpha with you, 5,000 feet.
Before Alpha Alpha, I need you to maintain an appropriate VFR altitude, so for direction of flight plus 500.
So 5,500.
Thank you. So bridge, Challenger number 50, Foxtrot X-ray, 2,100 for 8,000. Every Foxtrot X-ray SoCal approach, just set maintain 3,000. Do you have the weather for join?
So what we're going to do now is we're going to dial in the Oceanside VOR on nav 1. So that's 115.3. Oh, yeah. I hope I didn't just change my score by mistake. 115.3. Switch that in. And we want the 115 radial.
Calling for LA Tower, you got SoCal.
We can go on nav. Okay. COM2 we can get 80s for Oceanside. Sorry, for Palomar. We're only about 30 miles away. 12015. COM2. We're not getting that because I've switched off FSX voice. So we'll wait till we get closer, then Active Sky will pick up that 80s. We're picking up a different
Kilo
station.
9 Lima 0, airport information, Golf 173.
Should really dip under these clouds. I'm not going to. We can put in Seal Beach on nav 2. Let's see what we can do. 115.7. Nav 2. If we centre that up, we're on roughly the 1-2 radial. Let's try.
Kilo November X-ray, Foxtrot, airport information, India 175. American 320, American 821, heavy, contact, alternate center 135.5. The 404 Alpha Alpha, contact, SoCal approach 119.6.
119.6 November 4 Alpha Alpha. SoCal approach to Howland 404 Alpha Alpha, level at 5,500 with you.
404 Alpha, SoCal approach, Palomar Alpha, looking in and alright. At 821, you're going towards Ventura, you're close to San Marcos. You gotta be careful about that. Challenger 8 Foxtrot, X-ray turn right, heading 186.
De Havilland 4 Alpha Alpha descending to 2,500 for weather.
X-ray, you need to make those turns a little faster.
Okay, 118.6.
American 320, contact Los Angeles Center 126. Kilo Lima 3 for airport information. Juliet 1745 Zulu weather. Other Foxtrot X-ray 2 Mountain Snake flying 1 fighting. Maintain 3000 foot down full class per hour from 20 foot.
De Havilland 4 Alpha Alpha, I have the field in sight and the weather for Palomar.
American 320 off that side, clock climb, maintain 13,000 off base, altimeter 2985. 404 Alpha Alpha, contact Palomar Tower 18.6, call 3 follows.
Palomar Tower 118.6 and squawking VFR. De Havilland 4 Alpha Alpha. Oh, I am squawking VFR.
American 320 off that side, clock quad. Number 7, Tango Papa. North Las Vegas Tower, are you still on my frequency? Oh, sorry about that. What's up, Tango Papa? Number 7, Tango Papa, what's your altitude? Oh, sorry, 1,600. So, I need descending to 4,300. Okay. And number 7, Tango Papa, your frequency changes per me.
Palomar Tower, De Havilland 404 Alpha Alpha.
Yeah, 404 Alpha Alpha, Palomar Tower.
404 Alpha Alpha, I'm 3 miles to the northwest with India to land.
714 Alpha Alpha, enter right downwind, runway 24, clear to land.
Enter right downwind for 24 and clear to land, De Havilland 4 Alpha Alpha. Oh my god, that was last minute.
Showing the that's X-ray on the highway 120. Channel 508 Foxtrot X-ray, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind, calm. Clear to land, 08 Foxtrot X-ray. John 8 Foxtrot X-ray, left when able, taxi ramp via Alpha, monitor ground 120.8. Left when able, taxi back to Alpha, and come back, 8 Foxtrot.
Okay, I'm sort of cleaned up now. Should be squawking 1200.
North Tower, Suez north of 47 Tango Papa, northwest. Requires the hacking word. Where's Oscar? Number 47 Tango Papa, North Las Vegas Tower, enter straight on runway 12 right, enter left traffic. Report midfield downwind each time, clear for the option. Runway 12 right, runway 12 right, left to traffic, 47 Tango Papa. Number 7 Tango Papa, you are clear for the option on this one. Clear for option, 47 Tango Papa, runway 12 right. Gate runway Charlie, wind calm, runway 29, clear for takeoff, left downwind. Clear for takeoff, runway 9, left downwind, clear for takeoff, okay. 4 Alpha Alpha left 1 able, taxi remain by Alpha, remain straight.
Taxi via Alpha, November 4 Alpha Alpha. Well, I got down in one piece, just about. So that's the Motive Mods upgrade for the Saitek radio panel. Is it worth buying? Well, absolutely worth buying. If you want to drive your radios without using the mouse and keyboard, particularly if you want to build a cockpit, you've finally got a realistic, low cost, now relatively low cost solution. With this modification, the Saitek radio panel works perfectly. In fact, works as it was designed to work, you might say. Now, there is a brutal reality here. I'm not going to quote the specific prices because they might change. You can look these up on the website. But this is going to effectively double the cost of your Saitek radio panel. Even so, this is well worth the upgrade in my view. Now, bear in mind the alternatives to this panel are professional panels such as those from Elite or GoFlight. I'm a bit out of touch with what GoFlight offers and how much those panels cost. The Elite radios that I've got in my cockpit here, you know, you get one radio, let's say a COM1, and the retail price of that is about £300. Now, given that the combined price of a new Saitek radio panel plus the upgrade is still less than that, and the fact that this panel displays 2 radios at a time, and actually by using the selector each panel on the display can be switched to one of 7 different radios, there's just no comparison. So you can buy this panel upgrade in a number of different forms. You can buy the kit and then you can upgrade the panel yourself. You can send your panel to Motive Mods and they will do the upgrade for you for a relatively small fee. Or option 3, for a completely hassle-free solution, you can pay for a panel as well, and Motive Mods will source the panel, upgrade it and send it to you. Now, just one word of caution, things have got a little bit trickier over the last few years with regard to flight sims, and that's because we've got Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, 32-bit, 64-bit versions of each of those operating systems. And the simulators themselves, we've got FSX Boxed Edition, we've got the FSX Steam Edition, and we've got P3D 2.5 and recently version 3 have prepared. So you do need to wonder about compatibility. What I can tell you is that on my system, Windows 7 64-bit, Flight Sim 10 Boxed Edition, using the latest 64-bit Saitek plug-in software, everything works fine. I mentioned SPAD earlier. There's one slight downer with this at the moment. This panel doesn't seem to work properly with SPAD. Now I say that, in fact it does work properly, but it shows up what SPAD's doing under the hood. So it will work with SPAD, but what you're going to notice is when tuning the radios, to advance the digit takes 2 clicks on the rotary control, which is kind of unnatural, but it's doable. Now that said, SPAD has moved on in recent months. There's a new product called SPAD.next which is being actively developed. It is still a freeware product, although there is a registration path that you can take now to get more advanced features which are still in development. I don't have SPAD.next installed on my main FSX machine. I have installed it on a test machine, and what I can tell you is that using the SPAD.next test page, the upgraded panel does function correctly. The rotary controls do appear to register every click as you would expect. Now, the only reason I'm telling you this is that for prepared version 3 users at the moment, drivers are a little, for anything, are a little bit hit and miss. Saitek has yet to release officially P3D driver for the ProFlight panels. And just looking at some of the chatter on the forums, people have been having difficulties getting their panels to work, and one of the workarounds that people have been using is the SPAD driver. So you just need to go into that with an open mind, be ready for a little bit of experimentation. That said, in recent days there have been conversations where people have claimed to have Saitek P3D specific drivers for the panels, but all I can say is they're not yet, at the time of making this video, which is the 20th of December 2015, they're not yet on Saitek's driver download page. So there it is, the Motive Mods upgrade for the Saitek ProFlight radio panel. They do an upgrade for in a similar vein, for the ProFlight multi-panel. That's the one with the autopilot. Essentially it's the autopilot control. I haven't tried that one out. Now bear in mind there's two rotary controls on that board. I think it only replaces the main rotary, the one that looks like a dual concentric but isn't, so the one for controlling the heading bug. The other rotary control is the one that's intended as a trim adjuster. But there you go, you can look into that for yourself. All in all, excellent upgrade and highly recommended. I'm supposed to send this board back, it's just on loan to me. What I'm actually thinking of doing is emailing back and saying, look, I'll pay for this and I'm going to keep it and put it in my cockpit.